The Supreme Court heard arguments in a case targeting public sector unions. Here's the issue. Should government workers who choose not to join unions still pay to support union activities? Well, a group of non-union public school teachers in California filed the case, and if the plaintiffs end up winning, it could mean a major blow to organized labor. Our Justice reporter Paula Reid is in Washington with the latest. Paula, let me first ask the question that a lot of people may be asking. What is collective bargaining, and what are the stakes here?
Well, collective bargaining is the process where unions negotiate on behalf of employees with employers to determine pay and other benefits. Now, here the justices are looking at whether individuals who are not members of a union but still benefit from those negotiated agreements, whether or not they can be required to pay fees to support collective bargaining and other union activities. Several states do allow unions to require those fees. Now, if the justices decide against the unions and say you don't have to pay those fees, Vlad, it would be a significant blow to organized labor. Estimates vary, but it could cost them up to tens of millions of dollars a year.
And Paula, how are the justices divided on this issue? I mean, what are they signaling? What states could ultimately see a ruling in favor of these plaintiffs and could have the most impact?
Today in arguments, we saw that Justice Kennedy sort of aligned himself with Justices Scalia, Justice Roberts, and Alito. Of course, Justice Thomas was silent, as he always is in oral argument, but it seems they were all hostile to the union's position. So it appears at this point the Supreme Court is likely to strike a significant blow to organized labor through this case.
And what about the First Amendment, Paula? How is that playing a role in these arguments?
Well, Vlad, that's the crux of these teachers' arguments. They argue that this is a violation of their First Amendment, that they should not be forced to subsidize activities that they do not agree with. Now, some of the justices on the other side, Justice Ginsburg, Justice Kagan, they said, you know, the whole money as speech argument doesn't really extend to collective bargaining, that they've gone too far. But we'll see when they ultimately render their decision. But the First Amendment is what this case is all about.
Paula, how did this case get all the way to the Supreme Court? How's it being financed?
Well, as with many cases, as with almost all cases, people who oppose unions sort of saw an opening. A few years ago, the court indicated that they may be willing to strike down these fees. So as with any case on any side of the aisle, any issue, they went looking for the right plaintiff and craft the right case to get before the justices to hopefully strike down these fees. So a libertarian-leaning organization went looking for teachers who would be willing to take their case before the high court. And that's how they found this group of 10 teachers, and their case has been working its way through the courts for the last 10 years. But again, this isn't unique to libertarian or conservative organizations. This is how cases get to the Supreme Court. People who want to shape the law look for the perfect plaintiff, the perfect case to bring before the justices in the hope that they'll decide in a way that will shape the law in the way they want it.
And what kind of timeline are we expecting on this ruling?
Well, we expect a decision by the spring, so it'll be a few months.
All right. Paula Reid in Washington. Thank you.